Get ready to meet the real giants of history. Today, we're diving into some of the largest creatures to ever walk, swim, or slither on Earth. You've probably seen elephants, giraffes, maybe even whales. But believe me, those are nothing compared to the prehistoric titans we'll uncover today. From millipedes the size of a car to snakes capable of swallowing crocodiles whole, this journey through the 10 biggest animals ever will make you wonder, what would it be like to live alongside these monsters? Could you survive if one was right next to you? Stick around to find out. For most people, just seeing a regular centipede on the ground is enough to give them the creeps. Now, imagine facing one the size of a small car. If the thought of bugs makes you shiver, you'd be glad you weren't around 300 million years ago. Back in the Carboniferous period, a giant creature called Arthropleura ruled Earth's ancient humid forests. This colossal arthropod, the largest of its kind to ever exist, would have been a real nightmare for anyone with a fear of insects. But just how big was Arthropleura? Based on fossils found in Northumberland, England, it's estimated this prehistoric millipede could reach up to 2.5 meters, over 8 feet long, taller than the average human. That not only makes it one of the largest creatures of its time, but an absolute titan in the world of land-dwelling arthropods. Yet its size wasn't the only thing intimidating about this prehistoric beast. Some theories suggest that when threatened, Arthropleura could lift the front part of its body like a cobra, making it look even more terrifying. While paleontologists haven't confirmed this posture due to a lack of well-preserved fossils, just imagining this creature rising up on its legs is enough to give anyone chills. But size isn't everything. Fossils indicate that Arthropleura likely weighed around 50 kilograms, about the same as an average 14-year-old kid. Imagine a giant millipede crawling around with that much weight. To put it in perspective, the largest land arthropod today is the coconut crab, Burgess latro, which while impressively large at around 40 centimeters, only weighs a fraction of what Arthropleura did. Next to this carboniferous monster, the coconut crab looks more like a harmless pet. So why were these millipedes so massive? The answer lies in Earth's atmosphere during the Carboniferous. Back then, oxygen levels were notably higher than today, over 30% compared to our current 21%. This extra oxygen allowed arthropods, which absorb oxygen less efficiently than mammals, to grow much larger than their modern counterparts. The added oxygen helped them support their massive bodies and maintain an active metabolism. Despite its enormous size and fearsome appearance, Arthropleura wasn't the fierce predator you might expect. Scientists believe it was primarily a herbivore, munching on the lush vegetation covering the Carboniferous landscape. With its segmented body, this giant millipede would have been an expert at navigating the forest floors, searching for leaves and plants to devour. Like many giants of the past, Arthropleura's time on Earth didn't last forever. Toward the end of the Carboniferous, oxygen levels in the atmosphere began to drop, limiting the growth of arthropods. Eventually, shifts in climate and atmospheric composition likely contributed to its extinction. Though we can't pinpoint exactly what caused its disappearance, a combination of lower oxygen levels and competition with other species likely played a role. Luckily for us, Arthropleura no longer roams the Earth, and while the Carboniferous world was teeming with giant creatures, we can't help but feel a bit relieved that today's insects are considerably smaller. So next time you see a little millipede crawling around, remember that once, its relatives were the titans of the world. Before we continue, if you like what you are watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content. It really helps support the channel and keeps us bringing you more quality content videos like this one. Now let's talk about a truly colossal reptile. It's common for people to feel anxious or even fearful around snakes. Studies on phobias suggest nearly half of all adults worldwide feel some level of discomfort around these reptiles, with around 2 to 3% experiencing a serious snake phobia. And honestly, who can blame them? Snakes like the green anaconda, which can grow up to 9 meters, around 30 feet long, and weigh 250 kilograms, are already pretty intimidating. But if you think you're brave for facing down a modern-day anaconda, then get ready, because about 60 million years ago, there was an even more terrifying snake on Earth, the Titanoboa. The name Titanoboa alone conjures up images of a massive creature slithering through trees or across an entire road, and you wouldn't be far off. Based on fossils found in a Colombian coal mine, scientists believe these snakes could reach lengths of up to 14 meters, making them the largest snake to ever exist on Earth. To put that in perspective, that's more than 7 times the length of the average human. human. If a Titanoboa reared up halfway, it could easily tower over a 2-story building. Talk about a reptilian nightmare. In addition to its incredible length, the Titanoboa was also an absolute monster in terms of weight. It's estimated to have weighed as much as 1,250 kilograms, about 2,750 pounds, almost as much as a small car. That's 5 times heavier than the green anaconda, the largest snake alive today. Imagine coming across a snake that massive, capable of crushing anything in its path purely with its sheer size. Luckily, Titanoboas weren't venomous, but don't breathe a sigh of relief just yet. The way they hunted was equally brutal. These giant snakes were constrictors, meaning they didn't need venom to take down their prey. Instead, they used their enormous bodies to wrap around their victims, squeezing and suffocating them. Imagine the strength of a 40-foot snake coiling around a 6-meter crocodile, its favorite prey, and crushing it until there was no breath left. Yes, because even though today's crocodiles are impressive predators, the crocs of Titanoboa's time were giants too. These prehistoric crocodiles, known as Caragionisuchus, could grow up to 6 meters in length, making them a decent meal for the Titanoboa. After a feast of that size, Titanoboas could go for months without hunting again. They were true ambush predators, slowly gliding through the swamps and rivers of what is now South America, patiently waiting for their next meal. The discovery of this monstrous snake is relatively recent. In 2009, paleontologists uncovered the fossil remains of around 30 Titanoboas in a Colombian coal mine, once a dense, steamy tropical forest. The fossils revealed not only its colossal size, but also gave us insights into its environment. Back then, Earth's climate was much warmer, which allowed reptiles like Titanoboa to grow to such gigantic proportions. This constant warmth was crucial to maintaining the metabolism of a snake this size, as reptiles rely on external temperatures to regulate their body functions. Like the dinosaurs, the Titanoboa went extinct millions of years ago, but that hasn't stopped some scientists and enthusiasts from speculating that descendants of this giant snake might still lurk in the deepest, darkest corners of the Amazon. And when it comes to the largest land animal to ever exist, the Argentinosaurus takes the crown without question. This gigantic dinosaur was a member of the sauropods, a group of herbivorous dinosaurs known for their colossal size, extremely long necks and tails, small heads, and massive limbs. To put it into perspective, an Argentinosaurus could weigh as much as 10 African elephants, making it one of the true wonders of prehistory. The Argentinosaurus was first discovered in 1987 in Argentina, which is how it got its name. It all started when a local farmer named Guillermo Heredia found a massive fossil on his property. At first, he thought he'd stumbled upon a huge piece of petrified wood, but when scientists learned of his find, they launched an investigation that would change our understanding of dinosaur size. What Heredia had found wasn't wood, but an enormous vertebra belonging to a titanosaur. This discovery revealed what we now recognize as one of the largest dinosaurs ever documented. Studies of its fossils suggest that Argentinosaurus could grow up to 35 meters long. That's nearly the length of 3 school buses lined up. As for its weight, scientists estimate that it could have weighed between 50 and 100 tons. For context, the African elephant, the largest land animal alive today, weighs around 6 tons. So imagine 10 elephants, and you'd still be under the weight of a single Argentinosaurus. So how did a creature that massive survive? The answer lies in its diet. Argentinosaurus was an herbivore that primarily fed on the leaves of the tallest trees of the Cretaceous period. With its long neck, it had access to vegetation that other animals couldn't reach. It's estimated that this dinosaur needed to consume hundreds of kilograms of plants daily to sustain its colossal body. Just imagine having to find that much food every day without a grocery store. Besides its massive size, Argentinosaurus also had a unique bone structure. Sauropod bones, though huge, were surprisingly lightweight. They were filled with hollow spaces similar to the bones of modern birds. This feature allowed its skeleton to support its incredible weight without collapsing under its own mass. Without this adaptation, moving around would have been impossible for an animal of this size. But despite how impressive Argentinosaurus was, it wasn't entirely safe from predators. Scientists believe that these giant dinosaurs would have faced some of the most fearsome carnivores of their time, like the Giganotosaurus, which also lived in South America during the Cretaceous. While the sheer size of Argentinosaurus would have offered some protection from many predators, attacks by packs of massive carnivores wouldn't have been out of the question. One of the most fascinating aspects of Argentinosaurus is how its size challenges our understanding of of biological limits. How could an animal that large survive in a prehistoric ecosystem? How did it keep such a massive body moving? Paleontologists are still studying how dinosaurs like Argentinosaurus breathed, walked, and processed food efficiently. What we do know is that its size was an evolutionary advantage, allowing it to dominate the vast Cretaceous landscapes. Although Argentinosaurus is the largest dinosaur we've found so far, some scientists believe there may have been even larger creatures that we've yet to discover. The Earth is vast, and many of its secrets remain buried in the depths of time. New fossils are uncovered every year, and it's thrilling to think that we might be one step away from discovering an even bigger creature. For now, Argentinosaurus remains the undisputed king of prehistoric herbivores and one of the most colossal beings to ever walk the Earth. Its size is a reminder of just how extraordinary life was in the past, and of how nature always finds ways to amaze us. Now, let's dive into the world of the blue whale, the largest animal ever to exist on Earth. When we think of colossal creatures, we often picture gigantic dinosaurs, but what many people don't realize is that the blue whale not only rivals these ancient titans in size, but actually surpasses them. This marine mammal still rules today's oceans with a unique blend of elegance, power, and truly enormous dimensions. The blue whale can reach up to 30 meters in length and weigh as much as 200 tons, the equivalent of about 33 elephants. Just to give you an idea, its tongue alone can weigh as much as an adult elephant, and its heart can be as large as a small car. Imagine the power required to pump blood through such an enormous body. These figures not only make it the largest being in the ocean, but also the most colossal animal in the history of the planet. Despite its impressive size, the blue whale feeds on some of the tiniest creatures in the ocean, krill. These tiny shrimp-like creatures, measuring only a few centimeters, are the primary food source for blue whales. During feeding season, a blue whale can consume up to 36,000 kilograms, almost 80,000 pounds, of krill per day. To capture such an enormous quantity, it uses an incredibly efficient filtration system. The whale takes in massive gulps of krill-filled water, then pushes the water out through its baleen plates, trapping the tiny crustaceans. It's a remarkable example of how the giant depends on the small. Another impressive feature of the blue whale is its diving ability. Though it's a mammal and must surface to breathe, it can dive to depths of up to 500 meters in search of food. Every time a blue whale surfaces to take a breath, it exhales a spout of water vapor that can reach up to 9 meters high, making it visible from afar. This blow is one of the most iconic sights associated with the blue whale, and one of the most breathtaking moments for whale watchers. Aside from their size, blue whales are also the loudest animals on the planet. Their songs are so powerful that they can travel thousands of kilometers across the ocean. Though these sounds are often below the range of human hearing, they're essential for communication between whales over long distances. Remarkably, it's estimated that their calls can reach 188 decibels, a volume so intense that it could theoretically burst human eardrums if one were close enough. Throughout the year, blue whales undertake some of the longest migrations in the animal kingdom. In the winter, they travel to warmer waters, where females give birth to their young. A newborn blue whale is already huge, measuring around 8 meters in length and weighing about 4 tons. These little ones grow rapidly, drinking up to 400 liters of milk each day during their first year. Then, the whales return to the polar regions in search of krill-rich waters during feeding season. Despite their incredible size and strength, blue whales were nearly hunted to extinction due to commercial whaling in the 19th and 20th centuries. During this time, their populations were reduced to just 1% of their former numbers. Fortunately, in recent decades, conservation efforts and a ban on whaling have helped their populations recover slowly. Today, there are estimated to be between 10,000 and 25,000 blue whales in the world's oceans, a small number compared to their historical populations, but a hopeful sign for the future of this giant. The blue whale is not only a testament to the astonishing scale that nature can achieve, but also a reminder of the fragility of ecosystems. Despite being the world's largest animal, the blue whale depends on a delicate ocean balance to survive. Climate change, pollution, and overfishing continue to pose threats to its survival. Imagining a blue whale gliding beneath your boat is both awe-inspiring and humbling. Its sheer size defies human comprehension, and its existence reminds us of how little we know about the depths of the ocean and the creatures that inhabit them. These giant blues remain one of the greatest mysteries and marvels of the natural world. Imagine a crocodile not only bigger than any you've ever seen, but also a true apex predator. That's exactly what Sarcus Imperator was, one of the most fearsome creatures ever to swim in our oceans. This formidable reptile lived during the early Cretaceous, about 112 million years ago, in what is now Niger, West Africa. Today's saltwater crocodiles are massive, reaching up to 7 meters in length and weighing around 1 ton. But Sarcosuchus far surpassed these modern reptiles. Paleontologists estimate that it could grow up to 12 meters long, nearly twice the length of the largest modern crocodile. In terms of weight, it's believed to have reached an astounding 9 tons, about the weight of a small car. To put it in perspective, this ancient crocodile was nearly 8 times heavier than Lolong, the largest crocodile ever held in captivity, which measured only 5.5 meters and weighed around 1 ton. What made Sarcosuchus Imperator truly terrifying was its teeth. This super crocodile had a formidable set of 132 cone-shaped teeth, each up to 15 centimeters long. Its jaws were built for delivering devastating bites, capable of gripping and tearing apart any prey that dared venture into its watery domain. Thanks to its robust, massive structure, paleontologists believe Sarcosuchus could hunt both giant fish and even dinosaurs that strayed too close to the water. In addition to its impressive size and fearsome teeth, Sarcosuchus had a body perfectly adapted to its environment. With a more massive body than its modern relatives, this crocodile was likely an excellent swimmer, able to move with surprising agility despite its immense size. It's thought to have been an opportunistic predator, lurking at the water's surface and using its natural camouflage to wait for the perfect moment to strike. Sarcosuchus didn't rule its aquatic realm alone. During the Cretaceous, it shared its habitat with various dinosaurs, meaning its diet was likely quite diverse. It's believed to have hunted in shallow waters, ambushing prey with surprise attacks. Its impressive ability to take down large prey would have given it a major edge over other predators of its time. Despite being a dominant predator, Sarcosuchus Imperator also faced challenges in its environment. Climate fluctuations and sea level changes likely affected its habitat and prey availability. However, its adaptability and hunting skills allowed it to thrive during its era, making it one of the most feared predators of its time. The discovery of Sarcosuchus fossils has given paleontologists a unique glimpse into life during the Cretaceous. Its fossils have been found across various locations in Africa, suggesting this colossal creature had a considerable geographic range. Though many of its modern relatives survive today, Sarcosuchus went extinct, leaving only traces of its impressive existence in the form of fossils. Today, crocodiles are often considered living fossils because of their similarity to their prehistoric ancestors. However, Sarcosuchus Imperator represents a fascinating chapter in the evolutionary history of these reptiles, showing how size and adaptability can propel a creature to the top of the food chain. Can you imagine running into one of these monsters in a river? It'd be like stepping into a prehistoric horror movie. Just 40 years ago, in 1886, an incredible discovery was made on a farm in Peterborough, England. Initially thought to be the dorsal plates of a stegosaurus, these remains turned out to be something even more remarkable: the bones of Leikus, a gigantic fish that swam the Jurassic seas around 165 million years ago. This initial misidentification was a testament to the sheer size and uniqueness of this creature. Imagine a fish that could reach up to 17 meters in length, longer than a school bus and nearly 10 times the length of an average human. It's almost impossible to imagine something so colossal gliding through the water. With its impressive length, Leikus would make even submarines look like toys by comparison. Not only was it massive, but it also weighed around 50 tons, making it a true marine titan. For comparison, the ocean sunfish, the largest bony fish alive today, reaches only about 10% of Leikus' length and weighs around 2 tons. The difference is truly staggering. So what made Leikus so extraordinary? This fish belonged to the family of bony fish, meaning it had a skeleton made of bone tissue rather than cartilage like sharks. Despite its ability to open its massive mouth, it didn't have sharp teeth. Instead, it fed on plankton, shrimp, jellyfish, and smaller fish. Much like modern whales, Leikus was a filter feeder, swimming through the ocean and swallowing large gulps of water, which it then expelled through its gills, leaving tiny prey behind. Leadsichthys posed no threat to other marine animals of its time, which means that despite its enormous size, it coexisted peacefully with other marine creatures. However, its size gave it a distinct advantage over many predators. One question that intrigues scientists is how a fish could grow to be so large. Some believe that its enormous size allowed it to swim efficiently while searching for food, while others suggest it may have had a social structure that helped it survive and thrive in a competitive marine ecosystem. The anatomy of Leadsichthys is equally fascinating. It's thought that its body was streamlined, designed for efficient swimming that enabled it to move gracefully through the water despite its colossal size. Additionally, some fossils suggest it had a complex fin structure that helped it maneuver, making it an exceptional swimmer. As the oceans evolved, Leadsichthys found itself in a world full of change. From the rise of new predators to shifts in food availability, marine dynamics were constantly fluctuating. Yet despite these challenges, Leadsichthys continued to thrive, dominating the seas of its time. Today, though Leadsichthys is extinct, its legacy lives on. Its size and unique characteristics have left a lasting mark on paleontology, continuing to captivate scientists and enthusiasts alike. Looking back in history, it reminds us that the ocean once housed creatures beyond our imagination and encourages us to further explore the mysterious world that exists beneath the waves. Now, let's talk about a creature so colossal it would make Leadsichthys look like a pet fish in comparison. Presenting the Megalodon. Megalodon isn't just a character from an action film, it was a real shark, and in fact, the largest shark to ever exist on Earth. This giant predator ruled the oceans during the Miocene and Pliocene epochs, around 23.6 million years ago. But just how big was it? This is where the estimates get exciting and a bit tricky. Scientists rely on its teeth to calculate Megalodon's size, as these are the best preserved fossils. The largest verified tooth from this giant predator measures about 20 centimeters long, an impressive hunting tool. Since sharks don't have bones, their skeletons are made of cartilage, which doesn't fossilize as easily. Determining its exact size is challenging. Some conservative estimates place its length at 15 meters, while others suggest it could have reached up to 25 meters. That's longer than a school bus. To put this into perspective, even today's whale shark, the largest living cartilaginous fish, doesn't come close to Megalodon, reaching only about half of its estimated length. But what's truly terrifying are Megalodon's massive jaws. It's estimated to have had about 276 sharp teeth up to 18 centimeters long, giving it a maximum bite force of around 182,000 newtons. For comparison, the maximum bite force of a human is about 1,317 newtons. Anyone else feeling a little more appreciative of today's great whites? Besides its incredible size, Megalodon was a feared predator. It's believed it could reach lengths of up to 18 meters and weigh around 60 tons, almost 3 times longer and 20 times heavier than the modern great white shark. With such size, it's no wonder it preyed on whales, other fish, and sometimes even smaller sharks, considering them something like breakfast. Megalodon teeth fossils have been found all over the world, including in South America, Europe, Jamaica, Australia, Japan, and Malta, suggesting that these giants roamed where waters were favorable and food was abundant. The largest tooth found to date came from Ocukage, Peru, measuring an impressive 19 centimeters, reinforcing the idea that Megalodon had the most powerful bite of any known animal. As we explore the oceans, we can't help but wonder what mysteries are still out there about Megalodon and other prehistoric creatures. Though this colossus is no longer around, its legacy lives on in the myths and legends surrounding sharks. So next time you wade into the ocean, remember that not so long ago, a giant ruled the depths. And while it may be gone, its story remains a reminder of the astonishing world that once was. Now, let's talk about one of the most impressive and feared dinosaurs to ever exist, the Spinosaurus. This colossal predator is known not only for its size, but also for being one of the strangest hunters to walk the earth, surpassing even the famous Tyrannosaurus rex in length. The first fossil remains of Spinosaurus were discovered in Egypt in 1912 by German paleontologist Ernst Stromer, and just 3 years later it was named Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, meaning spined lizard. And why the name? The spines protruding from its back were enormous, with some reaching over 2 meters, 6.5 feet, in length. These spines were covered in skin and formed what many referred to as a sail along its back. Although scientists still debate the sail's purpose, several theories have emerged. One theory suggests that it helped regulate Spinosaurus's body temperature, acting as a kind of natural radiator, absorbing or releasing heat as needed. Another possibility is that it used the sail to impress females or intimidate rivals during mating season. Imagine this giant displaying its massive sail to get the attention of a potential mate. As for its size, an adult Spinosaurus is estimated to have been between 15 and 16 meters long and weighed around 7,500 kilograms. That's bigger than a school bus. This makes it the largest known carnivorous dinosaur to date, even larger than the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, which was only about 12 meters long. But what makes this giant even more incredible is its lifestyle. Unlike other large predators, Spinosaurus wasn't just a land-based hunter, it was also adapted for life in the water. Recent discoveries have significantly altered what we once thought about Spinosaurus. Fossils indicate that this dinosaur had a semi-aquatic lifestyle, meaning it spent much of its time in the water. These fossils were found in areas that used to be mangroves, suggesting that it hunted in rivers, lakes, and lagoons. With its long, crocodile-like skull and cone-shaped teeth, it was perfectly suited for catching large fish, its primary food source. But there's more. Spinosaurus had denser bones than other carnivorous dinosaurs, which likely helped it submerge and swim more easily, a predator that hunted in both worlds, water and land. This ability places it in a unique category among large carnivores. It was more than just a land-based dinosaur. It was like a giant crocodile dinosaur that stalked prey both on land and in water. Spinosaurus lived during the Cretaceous period around 100 million years ago in what we now know as North Africa. Back then, the climate was very different from today's, and the region was covered with rivers, swamps, and vast wetlands, an ideal environment for a semi-aquatic predator like Spinosaurus. This set it apart from other large carnivores that dominated drier lands, like Tyrannosaurus rex in North America. Although Tyrannosaurus rex has long been considered the king of the dinosaurs, Spinosaurus might give it a run for that title. Its greater size, adaptability to diverse environments, and astonishingly specialized skull for water hunting make it one of the most formidable predators to have ever existed. Let's dive into the incredible Quetzalcoatlus, a creature whose weight ranged from 200 to 250 kilograms. With a wingspan reaching between 10 and 12 meters, this flying giant was comparable in size to a small airplane. Imagine looking up and seeing such a massive creature soaring through the sky. While it may seem impossible for an animal of this scale to fly, evolution gifted Quetzalcoatlus with features that made it remarkably efficient in the air. Quetzalcoatlus lived during the late Cretaceous, about 70 million years ago, alongside the last dinosaurs before their extinction. Unlike dinosaurs that roamed the ground, this pterosaur ruled the skies, casting its shadow over vast stretches of what is now North America. But despite its size, it wasn't limited to hunting in the air. It's believed that Quetzalcoatlus was a highly versatile predator. Its long neck and enormous beak enabled it to hunt a wide variety of prey. Some scientists think it may have hunted fish in bodies of water, using its large beak to catch its prey from above. Others propose that it also hunted on land, feeding on small dinosaurs in a manner similar to modern scavenging birds. Imagine this giant walking on the ground, searching for food with its massive wings extended. This behavior would have made it one of the most efficient predators of its time. The first Quetzalcoatlus fossil was discovered in 2002 on the Romanian island of Hansen by French paleontologist Eric Buffetot. Interestingly, this island is known for its dwarf dinosaurs, as many animals there evolved to be smaller due to limited resources. The discovery of a giant pterosaur like Quetzalcoatlus in this setting was surprising. This raises intriguing questions. What was such a large creature doing in an ecosystem dominated by smaller animals? It's possible that Quetzalcoatlus used its ability to fly long distances to move between different habitats in search of food. One of Quetzalcoatlus's most distinctive features was the crest on its head. Like many other pterosaurs, this crest may have played an important role in its social life. It could have been used to attract mates, displaying vigor and health through this striking trait. It might also have served as a sign of dominance, used to intimidate competitors or to show off to others of its species. Though its size was astonishing, Quetzalcoatlus was also highly adapted for efficient efficient flight. Its bones were hollow, which reduced its weight without sacrificing strength. Additionally, it's believed that it could take off from the ground using all four limbs in a powerful leap. This takeoff style is known as quadrupedal, meaning it used both its front and hind limbs to launch into the air, much like modern bats. In summary, Quetzalcoatlus was not only one of the largest flying animals to have ever existed, but also a testament to the incredible diversity of life forms that populated the Earth during the age of dinosaurs. Its enormous size, versatility as a hunter, and intriguing crest make it one of the most fascinating creatures in the fossil record. Imagining what it would have been like to see it gliding across the skies in its time is truly awe-inspiring. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, leave your like and subscribe to support me to create more content. See you soon in the next video.